Hi everybody, my name is Bree and welcome back to my channel, Bree's Arts. All right, you guys, today is a great day because today's video is yet again sponsored by Skillshare. Now, I will be talking about them a little bit later in the video, but right now I want to talk about the crafts that we are going to do. So today's projects are inspired by things that I have found on Pinterest. Now, some of them are pretty much identical to the ones that I've seen, and some I've put my own spin on today. But we are going for a very neutral fall look in today's projects. Now, the best thing about having neutral fall decor is that you can spruce it up with whatever color accessories you want. You can use blues or burgundies or oranges or reds, whatever it is that you want your fall decor to be this year. So of course, like most of my videos, I've used mostly Dollar Tree items and a couple of items from Dollarama. Now, with that being said, let's jump into the first DIY. Okay, you guys, let's do it. DIY number one. So this I've seen, I believe it was on the Hobby Lobby website, but I did see it on Pinterest and I loved it, so I thought I would give it a whirl. Now I'm taking these 3 pumpkins that I got from the Dollar Tree, and we are going to recreate that little decor piece. Now, that little decor piece is way smaller than what I'm creating, so this is pretty fabulous, you guys. So my first step here is I'm just going to cover the back of the, I guess it's the, I don't know, medium-sized pumpkin with some craft paper. Really, you guys, I should have done this at the very end because I'm going to be painting this, obviously, so kind of hard to keep the paint off of it once it's there, but it's all good. So I just hot glued the craft paper to the back of the pumpkin and sanded down the edges so that it was nice and smooth and we won't have to worry about getting glitter all over our project. Sand, 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 there we go. So that hole at the top, I'm just using my wood filler here. Again, this wood filler is awesome because it goes on pink and then when it's dry, it turns like a natural wood color. So it's awesome. And this is a placemat that I got at the Dollar Tree. So what I'm gonna do here is just take my glue stick, also from DT, and I'm just going to put glue all over my pumpkin. A really nice heavy layer of this glue. And stick my placemat on, just, smush it down there and make sure that it's adhered really, really well. And if you miss a few spots, just throw some glue on there, hold it down, good to go. And then I just use my scissors to cut off the excess of that placemat. It's plastic, so it cuts super, super easy. Just cutting it up. And then, of course, to get the closer to the pumpkin, just using my little craft knife there. Potentially, possibly, we're gonna get that. There we go. Oh my goodness. And so now I'm just using my white chalk paint by Folk Art and just, painting this up. So the paint actually also helps to, make sure that the placemat is solid on the pumpkin, because as it dries, obviously, it's paint, so it will go and it'll be nice and adhered to the pumpkin. And then I'm just going to sand it down just a little bit just to bring out that color that was in the placemat previously. So a little bit of gold pokes through here. And just wipe off all of the chalk dust. All right, so for our second pumpkin, I am going to take these half wood beads that I got on Amazon, and we're going to go all the way around the perimeter of the pumpkin, hot gluing those half wood beads all the way around. I love this. I love how this turned out, you guys. It is so stinking adorable. So again, just, hot gluing. I'm so sorry that I'm showing you all of this, editing. Okay, and then using my chalk brush, I am just going to paint this pumpkin up in white as well, and just kind of, like smushing the paint in where the beads are to make sure that the paint gets into all of the grooves and the nooks and crannies and crevices and all of that jazz. And then taking some of my antique wax by Folk Art and my chippy brush, I'm just going along the beads there just to give them a little bit more dimension, make it look a little bit more old and worn and distressy. And it just makes those beads really pop. There we go. Okay, so now for the tall pumpkin, I'm taking this sign, it's divided, obviously, popping out all of the staples in the back that are holding those pieces together. And then what we're gonna do is take some craft sticks and just glue these pieces together so that they make one solid pumpkin. So, I used, I think it was three or four, maybe, craft sticks, just to make sure that everything is all connected. And then you can see there, they didn't line up perfectly, it's Dollar Tree stuff. So I'm just cutting off the excess just to make sure that it's all like, rounded, so it looks like just one solid pumpkin. And the bane of my existence, and probably a lot of yours too, getting that glitter off of the top there, just scraping it off with my scraper tool. And now taking my glue stick again, we are going to adhere some of beautiful scrapbook paper that I got in a package at Michael's. Now in Canada, there's like a 30% off coupon that comes out every week or every 2 weeks, whatever. And so the pack of scrapbook paper was really super inexpensive. And so obviously just cut off the excess, and now taking some of my braided rope from Amazon to cover the stem, which is actually called a peduncle. I think I'm pronouncing that right. One of my subscribers told me that in the comments. So, a little bit of trivia. And so you can see there I put a little stick so that the middle pumpkin is a little bit higher than the other ones. And then I am going to just hot glue those all together. And taking some more of my braided rope. I will have the rope linked down in my description box for you guys. I'm just going to go around 3 times, and then I don't do a knot. I just hot glued them because I'm going to do like a pretty bow, like attach a pretty bow on top of that, and it'll hide all of the hot glue that I'm using here anyways. So just hot glue that down using my finger protector, and then cutting off all of the excess just like that. Isn't it so cute, you guys? Oh my goodness, I just love this. So here I am just making a really super simple bow with the braided rope as well. Oh, I had to try it twice, it looks like. That's much better. And then we're just going to hot glue that to the middle of that pumpkin there. and then cut off the excess of the tails. And there we go. Looks so good. Oh my goodness. And now taking some of these, I guess they're like chalkboard tags, and I printed off the word grateful off of my Cricut. That was right from Cricut Design Space, just so you guys know. And then just putting that on there, tucking that in under the bow, and that is it. I love these pumpkins, you guys. They're so like high-end and classy looking. Like, I just absolutely love how this turned out. Love it. All right, everyone, DIY number 2. Okay, so beside the lovely pumpkins that I saw on Pinterest, this sign, oh my goodness, I love it. I love its simplicity. I love how classy and high-end it looks. Oh my goodness. So, taking the black one of those fall signs that you can get at the Dollar Tree, I just made up my own little decal here, and we're just gonna slap that right on the sign. Now, if you can't find the black one, obviously you can use the wooden looking one and then just paint it black, or you can use any of the other Dollar Tree signs as well. You won't have that little pumpkin cut out at the top, but it'll look just as beautiful as this one does. I absolutely love this, you guys. So there we go, just putting the deco right on there. And now I wanted to just get rid of those holes because I couldn't fill them and then match the paint without painting the whole thing. So I'm just using my box cutter and just, you know, scoring it along there a few times, and it snapped right off. Really nice and clean, no problem. And then just, you know, sand it down. I think I sanded down just a little bit just to make sure it's nice and smooth. All right, so now I am taking some twine from the Dollar Tree, and we're just going to wrap this around the bottom just to give it, you know, a little bit more of a touch there, a little bit more detail, hot gluing that down to the bottom. And then I'm also going to do the same thing to the top right below the little cutout pumpkin. So same thing, wrap it around 3 times. And then this little pumpkin I got off of a Halloween sign that I got last year, a little metal pumpkin, and just taking some hot glue, throwing that onto the bottom, just off center on top of the twine at the bottom. And you guys, that is it. This is done. How easy is that? And oh my goodness, I love it so much. And now a word from our sponsor, Skillshare. Whoop, whoop. Skillshare is an online learning community where millions of creatives come together to take the next step in their creative journey. Skillshare offers thousands of classes on a variety of topics for creative people like you and me. You can take classes on illustration, design, photography, and even crafting, anything that you can think of to expand your creative abilities. Now, most of the classes are 60 minutes or less, so it's really, really easy to fit those classes into your busy schedule. You can expand existing skills, explore new passions, and totally get lost in the creative process. So a lot of you guys know that I am super into photography, and I found this class called Outdoor Photography, See, Shoot, and Share the Beauty Around You by Min T. I cannot wait to take this class, and I really want to be able to see the outside world a lot better through my camera lens. So the Skillshare classes are curated specifically for learning, which means that there are no ads so that you can get lost in creativity. Skillshare is also adding premium classes all the time so you can follow wherever your creativity takes you. Now, this is super exciting, you guys, because the first 1,000 of my viewers who click the link down in the description box will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare access so that you can start exploring your creativity. I would really like to send a huge shout out to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. And with that being said, let's jump back into those DIYs. All right, everyone, DIY number 3. So this pumpkin, I just absolutely loved it when I saw it on Pinterest, and it's so easy to make. So I'm just taking this Dollar Tree pumpkin and I'm taking off that gingham print or buffalo check print. Now I know some people are going to think that's sacrilegious to take off that buffalo check fabric, but you guys know it's not really my jam. Now, taking one of these table runners, also from the Dollar Tree, I'm literally just going to bunch it up over top of the white pumpkin. And you can see here, I'm bunching up the fabric and then I'm just giving it a twist at the top just to make sure that it's nice and tight around the pumpkin. And then just cutting off the excess on the top. This is so easy, you guys. Oh my goodness, it's so easy. So you can see there was that hole, obviously, where the original fabric was tucked down into. So I'm legit just stuffing the excess fabric on the top of the pumpkin down into that hole. So I'm just using like a little, like the end of, I don't even know what kind of tool. It's like a spreading kind of tool thing. And see, just like that, done. Lace pumpkin, eureka. And so just taking some of this ribbon, this burlap kind of patterned ribbon that's also from the Dollar Tree. We're going to go across the pumpkin in one way, you know, kind of using the grooves in the pumpkin as a guide. And this is the first time I've used this ribbon. I did not know it was wired, so that makes it even easier. It's wired, you guys. Crazy. Mind blown. So, and then I'm just going to do the same thing in the other direction. So just take it around, stuff it into the hole, and throw a little bit of hot glue in there just to make sure it's all secure. And now in the other direction, I'm just going to take some of my braided rope, again, hot glue in the center, take it all the way around, cut it down, stuff in the other end. Like, this is so simple, you guys, and it's so pretty. Like, DIY decor does not have to be difficult to be beautiful, and these are so easy. So just doing that again in the other direction, all the way around the pumpkin, cut off the excess, hot glue, smush it in there, and good to go. Those are done. Now, I have never been able to find those little sticks or twigs or whatever you want to call them at the Dollar Tree. So this is legit from my yard. So I'm just taking some hot glue and smushing that peduncle down into the center there, so that it's, you know, nice and flush in there. There we go. Look at that. Oh, it's so cute. I love it so much. Now, this little leaf I got off of one of those white pumpkins that have all of the holes in it. You can get them at the Dollar Tree this year. So I just wrapped that around the stem there. And now I'm just using some of this brown wired cord, I guess it is, from the Dollar Tree, turning it around my pencil, stuffing it in there, and legit, this is done. Cute little pumpkin, you guys. And it's so pretty. All right, everyone, last one, DIY number 4. So this one I actually completely copied from this one that I saw on Pinterest. I thought it was so insanely beautiful. So I'm taking this artist panel. It's an 8x10. I got it at Dollarama, and I'm just going to put a layer of the, no, first we need to sand it down because they are a little bit rough. And then I am going to put a layer of the antique wax onto the just the front of the sign, concentrating mostly in the middle. So slap some on there, and then I will take a baby wipe and just put it all over. It spreads so much easier when you use a baby wipe, you guys. And like I always say, I don't want to waste a whole bunch of product. So this works so well. And now I cut this maple leaf off on my Cricut. I'm just using my 813 stencil vinyl and, just measuring it out, making sure that it's nice and centered on the artist panel here, and that it's nice and straight too, of course. And then just smushing it down, and I'm just gonna peel up that transfer tape. Just like that. And now I always make sure that everything, especially when I'm stenciling, just make sure that all the edges are down really nice so I don't get any bleeding. And then I'm going to use my white chalk paint, and you can see there that I'm doing my brush strokes away from the edges, not towards the edges, because I want to make sure that I don't have any bleeding underneath that stencil. And then when I remove this, you guys, it comes out absolutely perfect. Look at that, beautiful. So now I'm just kind of roughing it up here a little bit, and you can see I smudged the paint just a titch. But then I took, a baby wipe and I just went across it. I just didn't want to have that ridge that was going all the way around. And then I did this stencil up, or not stencil, but this decal up on my Cricut. And I will try to see if I can find the fonts, you guys. I'm terrible at putting or remembering what the fonts are and stuff. I'm so sorry, but I will try to link the actual decal from my Cricut design space so that you guys can use it for your Cricut. And then if not, we can always I can email you an SVG or a JPEG of it, and you can make it yourself. So I just took a little bit of twine, made a very, very simple bow for the stem of my maple leaf here, hot glued it down, and then just cutting off the excess on the tails. And then I didn't have any little buttons, you guys, anywhere in my stash. No little buttons. So I'm going to use one of these adorable little flowers that I got at the Dollar Tree instead, and just hot glue that for the center of my bow, and that is it. These projects are so easy, you guys, and they're so pretty. pretty. I love this neutral fall decor. All right, everyone, that is it for our neutral fall decor DIYs. I absolutely love how these came out, and you can see how I put like a pop of blue with them. You guys know that blue is my favorite color, and that's the beauty of neutral decor, is that if your tastes change or if you want to switch it up, you can put any color accessories with these and they will be absolutely gorgeous. Now, I want to send a huge shout out to all of my new subscribers. Thank you guys so much. Welcome to my crazy YouTube fam jam. I appreciate you. And to all my OGs and people who have been with me for so long, you guys know how much I love you. I love reading your comments and I appreciate you so much. And I want to send out a shout out to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Now, if you like what you see, do me a solid. Tap that like button, maybe subscribe, tell your friends, you know, all of that jazz. Stay tuned for the gag reel. Bye, guys. Neutral. Getting into the neutral. Thickening tonic. Looks great. Good. Now, what did I use? What did I do? Dollar Tree, Dollarama. Dollar Tree. Okay, we got it. Did I record anything? I don't know what to say. But right now, I want to talk about the crafts that we are going to tackle today. Decor. Check out the volume. You look like a psycho. I'm gonna sneeze. I lost it. So the skill,